Perfect. So hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday. We're back with our sessions for Bridges to Better Business. My name's Angie. I'm the program manager for the Business Center, Guelph-Wellington. This week, we are talking about circular economy. We have a bunch of different awesome workshops that are focused around circularity and how to move your business forward in that space. So without any ado and big conversation, I'm going to introduce today. We have two presenters with us. Andrew Telfer, I'm hoping I say everybody's names correctly.
Telfer, but that's good.
Telfer, close. Oh, so close. No cigar. And Madeline Carter. They're both from Madeline is from Zero Waste Economic Transformation Lab. Wow, it is Monday, and my words have just ran away with me. And Andrew is from the Guelph Smart Cities with COIL. So Andrew, I will pass it over to you. I'm sure you'll do bigger introductions than mine, and I'll let you go forward.
Sure. Well, thank you very much. Welcome everyone. Happy Monday afternoon, just afternoon here. Well, thanks for joining us. I don't really like to be talked at all the time, so I'm going to do it nice and casual. If you want to ask questions throughout, feel free to stop me, or you're more than welcome to wait to the very end. I believe Angela has time for us at the end for some good conversation. So hopefully the slides, I also prepared some slides. I have a lot in here just because I was really afraid of running out of information, but we can just go, we don't have to spend a lot of time on each slide. I just wanted to make sure I had a lot to share with you, kind of thing, and keep it interesting. I am, like Angela said, we are from the Smart Cities office of Guelph-Wellington. We have two initiatives, Our Food Future and COIL. Because this series or this workshop is more about the circular economy in general, I have pulled from other sources. So you'll see the format I'm using today. At the bottom of each slide, you'll see the source if you want information. And Angela, correct me if I'm wrong, the slides will be shared out afterwards. So yeah.
Yeah,
so
I'll send the slides and the recording to anybody who registered.
So the sources will be there if you want to follow up afterwards and whatnot. That's the general format I use today. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about COIL because that is our circular business initiative, and this is about how circular economy can benefit your business. But also, I also included I tried to grab some spotlights and examples from around the circular economy efforts and whatnot, just because there's a lot of work happening and it's really cool. And so anyways, that's how we will proceed. And everyone Angela, you can see my screen?
Yep, perfect. You're good to go.
I'll put this in the corner and page down. Just a little, why is it not page down? There we go. A little bit about myself. I won't read all this, but my name is Andrew Telfer. I am with the Smart Cities office of the city of Guelph. I've been here for a few years, I guess a couple years now. However, I did want to tell you that I have been in business sustainability for about 15 years. I led the sustainability program for Walmart, and I was on the for their Canadian marketplace, and I was on the global sustainability leaders team with them. And then in between Walmart and Smart Cities here at Guelph, I actually was with the Retail Council, where I led sustainability, animal welfare, responsible sourcing, health and wellness as well. So that is me in a nutshell. And the co-presenter today is Madeline Carter, and here I'll let her talk about herself.
Thanks, Andrew. So yeah, as Andrew mentioned, I work with him in the City of Guelph Smart City office, specifically leading the Zero Waste Economic Transformation Lab. It is a mouthful, Angela, so thanks for thanks for talking. We usually just call it ZWEDL for short, just because it is quite a mouthful. And we're kind of looking at circularity within the construction, renovation, demolition sphere in City of Guelph, as well as the county. In my background, I'm a professional engineer working in land development for many years, and working to get things approved and designed, and currently now just looking at how we can involve circularity. So I'll talk more about Zweddle later on, but I'll turn it back to Andrew to go through some of the generic circular economy work.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Maddie. Anyways, I just want to mention we have to do a little plug for Our Food Future. Today is about the circular economy and how it can benefit your business. And the initiative we have to help you is COIL, which is the Circular Opportunity Innovation Launchpad. However, while we're here, I wanted to do a quick plug for Our Food Future. It happens to be the flagship circular economy initiative of Smart Cities, Guelph-Wellington. Just quickly, the City of Guelph, the County of Wellington submitted a proposal to Infrastructure Canada a few years back. It was accepted. It's all about setting up a circular food system, a circular food economy in Guelph-Wellington. Guelph-Wellington is the living laboratory, or the test bed, if you will. It's where we test ideas and innovations, and we pilot projects here. There's a couple of, I would say, two big buckets. It's about food sustainability, food waste reduction, and it's also about food security, because it wouldn't be a circular food system if there wasn't access to food for all the residents and all the citizens within the economy. One last point about the Our Food Future. Everyone assumes Our Food Future, Guelph-Wellington, we only care about our backyard. Guelph-Wellington is the only thing we're focused on. All rest of Canada, be damned. However, that is quite the opposite. The reason why is we have received national dollars, federal dollars, and with those federal dollars comes what we do here must be shared out. All the lessons learned, all the developed best practices, we share out to the rest of Canada, so that if Truro, Nova Scotia, or Estevan, Saskatchewan, or Langley, BC want to develop a circular food economy or a circular food system, they can learn from us and they can move much more quickly. Also, another little plug under Our Food Future, we just launched this campaign just last week, so it's fresh, it's new, it's called Reimagined Food. I have the website down at the bottom, reimaginedfood.ca. It's an interactive program campaign where we challenge the citizens and the stakeholders to rethink about food, how it's produced, where it comes from, how are you going to purchase it? How are you going to make it? What are you going to do with it afterwards? What can you do to reduce your waste? What can you do to make it more productive, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not doing it justice, I'm sorry, but again, please check it out, reimaginedfood.ca, and it just launched last week. Also, another plug is it's October, and October is actually Circular Economy Month in Canada. So this Building Bridges series that Angela has set up, the circular economy, what is it? How can it benefit your business? Is perfectly aligned, because October is Circular Economy Month in Canada, and the website's down below if you want to learn more, circulareconomymonth.ca. And within Circular Economy Month, this week just so happens to be Waste Reduction Week in Canada. So happy Waste Reduction Week, everyone. October 17th to 23rd. Today starts today. It's the 21st Waste Reduction Week here in Canada, and I wanted to put a plug in, and I put the website down in the bottom left, wrwcanada.com. And there's even stuff happening. Waste Reduction Week is the 1 week inside the larger month, so there's even stuff happening next week as well. So you're not too late, you haven't missed anything. Now, without further ado, that was all the pre-plugs and the pre-commercials. Now, what is the circular economy? So the circular economy concept came out about 50 years ago when some academics, some scientists realized that we live on a planet with finite resources. And in our current economic model, the linear economy, which is all about take, make, waste, take the resources, make the products, make the food, and use them. And then generally right now we are wasting them. And really the circular economy is, yes, it has environmental benefits, yes, it has social benefits, but really at the core, it's really just a new economic model. It's a new way to view the economy, or to for the economy to function as it were. A couple of stats right now, and I wrote them down ahead of time so I would have them fresh. Currently, annually, globally, there's about 100 billion tons of raw materials that are extracted across the world annually, and approximately 9% of them are cycled back into the economy. So that's about 91% that are being wasted. So we are very much still in the linear economy right now, even though recycling programs have been around for 40 years or whatnot, and we think we're in this recycling economy. Right now, we have a lot of room to move, and that's why we're here, because we are circular economy converts. We are very enthusiastic about the circular economy, and we want to share all about it and increase the awareness about it today. So, but in the simplest forms, what it is really just a shift from the linear to the circular. And here we go. And I've pulled a lot from ECCC, which is Environment and Climate Change Canada. They wrote a really great report about the circular economy in the last couple of years, because circular economy, I feel in the last, even though the concept's been around for decades, circular economy, I think the first time I heard of it was maybe 7 or 8 years ago, but it's really gained traction in the last 4 to 5 years and whatnot. And this this report, Circular North America, I believe is 18 months old, and it's really great. I use it in my work, and I have it saved, and I use it for reference a lot. And really, the principles of the circular economy, in addition to it being a moving from a linear to a circular economy, it's about the whole economy would be underpinned by renewable and clean energy. It's about the smart or sensible extraction of resources, extracting what we can when we need it, not as much as we are doing today, and then optimizing once the resources have been extracted, keeping them in play. Here it says, keep them in use for as long as possible. And that always reminds me, when I read that line, there's an environmental author, thought leader who has Bill McKibben, and he wrote the book Cradle to Cradle. And he always talks about, I always remember from that book, keep the molecule in play for as long as possible. Once it's extracted, once the material is extracted, once the resource, keep it in play as long as possible, and we won't have to go back to the earth, to the well, for more and more resources, or as often. There is an economic benefit here, and these are my numbers, but I wanted to share with you. Again, these are from the report. Accenture is saying, they've done a study, and they're saying that by 2050 globally, if the world shifts to an economic model, an economic circular model, it's worth about $25 trillion in new innovation, new jobs. There'll be new sectors. Instead of an extraction sector, maybe there'll be new jobs or new sectors around reuse, repair, renting, whatnot. But there is definitely an economic benefit. And I just want to quote the World Economic Forum, because you are business owners, you are entrepreneurs, you are interested in the business and how circular economy can benefit your business. Coming out from the World Economic Forum is circular business models will gain an even greater competitive edge in the years to come because they create more value from each unit of resource. So when we take the resources out from the earth, we're making sure that unit of resource is used the most productively. I also wanted to mention a little caveat that the circular economy isn't against growth. It's not a zero growth economy. It's still a growth-based economy. It's just a more sensible one where resources are used to the most productive. The most value is retrieved out of each unit of resource before it's wasted or before it reaches its true end of life. Also, I wanted to say this slide is about how the circular economy is very essential and urgently needed. A lot of people assume, and this is also the point I wanted to make here, is also the circular economy is very much climate action. A lot of people think of when circular economy burst onto the scene about 7-8 years ago, it was positioned as waste reduction, recycling, reuse, and whatnot. And no fault to the people that were trying to create awareness and using that messaging 7-8 years ago. They were trying to keep it simple and for people's understanding. And I think unfortunately what got lost is that the circular economy actually can help with climate change, and it is climate action. This slide here, if I can just explain it, what it's basically saying is that of all the GHGs out there, 55%, the footprint of the GHGs, 55% are from energy and whatnot. So if we go and take all the energy from the GHGs and we take all the energy that's producing those GHGs and we move them over to renewable energy and whatnot, transition it to renewable energy, that only handles about 55% of the GHG footprint. There's still 45% out there that needs to be tackled by the way we produce products, the way we produce food, we manage land. So what I'm basically saying in a nutshell is that Canada, many businesses will not achieve their net zero targets that they currently have without a transition to the circular economy. That's how essential the circular economy is. That's how urgent it is. And don't take it from me. Let's take it from Ella MacArthur. She has a great video on this. Bear with me. See if we can get there. Maybe. How do I get up here, guys? Yeah, I know what to do. I'll go here. Yeah.
You okay?
I prepared for it, Angela. Here we go.
No worries.
There we go. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. So I told you I prepared her. I was up late last night preparing. Here we go.
Oh, I don't hear any sound. Does it have sound?
You can't hear it?
No. Do you have earbuds in or something? Because sometimes that'll cause it because it needs to hear the sound. Zoom
No,
will sometimes make you hear the sound through your own speakers.
Yeah,
back in.
I was enjoying the video here on my end. Sorry about that, guys. It was a quick 2-minute video. The Ella MacArthur Foundation is very much behind the circular economy. Their website is actually, their Twitter handle is @circulareconomy. If you're interested in the circular economy, please check out Ella MacArthur Foundation. That was a video that actually talked about how connected or linked the circular economy is with climate action and how the circular economy can help us with our climate change challenges and whatnot. And also, this is just another slide that I wanted to present as well. This is a report put out about 6 months ago by the Ivy School of Business. So again, the business schools are very, very much interested in the circular economy, the economic value, the benefits to them. And this is also supported by R4 Future and Circular Opportunity Innovation Launchpad. And the key talking point I just wanted to pull out here is that there's no doubt that a rapid transition towards a circular economy is one of the country's best solutions for addressing the climate crisis. So I just wanted to share that with you today. There are a lot of benefits to the circular economy. The next 3 slides, I have government and society, communities, and businesses. I'll go through each. I also wanted to mention a caveat here that these are potential benefits, and also they won't be seen uniformly across geographies or governments or countries or sectors or whatnot. It all depends on what resources are available or what you do or how you transition or whatnot. But the potential benefits, and like I was mentioning, very much can address climate change, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, restore and regenerate the natural capital and ecosystems, because we're not going to the resources as often to extract them. And the resources that we have extracted, we will be using much more productively. Create jobs. We'll have a whole new system of jobs. There'll be new innovation coming in, and it'll actually attract investment as well. That's for government and society. Communities, again, these are potential benefits. Again, we're in Guelph-Wellington area. Other parts of Canada, other communities across Canada could see different benefits, but these are some of them here. Again, once you reduce the greenhouse gases and you're not extracting as many resources, land use is going to change. Pollution is going to go down. Quality of life will improve. Disposable incomes will improve. There'll be much more capital available for innovation and whatnot. So again, I don't want to say that this will be all benefits to all communities, but these are potential and they will be spread out around. Now to the businesses of what you're interested in, because you all are business-minded people. The circular economy can help reduce your operating costs, your wastes. It can help reduce the carbon intensity of your business. When you decrease waste and costs, it could improve your competitiveness. The next point, strengthen relationships. Customers are going to want this. Customers are going to want, if you provide a product, they're going to want a more durable product. They're going to want a product that's easier to repair. Your employees are going to want this. When I led the sustainability program at Walmart Canada for over a decade, one of my big focus areas was with the staff. There's 110,000 people that I engaged through the environment because this was important to them. And it'll help with your revenues, and it'll also mitigate your risk. And this is, I actually have a great example of this, and I believe it's on the next slide. And I won't read this, but I will just tell this spotlight within a nutshell, and it actually speaks to the risk. And I'm very excited about this, so I'll say it quickly. There was an onion ring manufacturer down in Southern Ontario, and when they made their onion rings, they would cut off the tops and the bottoms, and they would take those offcuts and they would just throw them out. They would pay for them to be composted. Then all of a sudden, through our work, we managed to hook them up with another food manufacturer that actually produced onion concentrate. And the people who produce the onion concentrate now buy the offcuts from the onion ring manufacturer. So now the onion ring manufacturer, instead of spending money to throw away their waste or compost it. They now sell it as a revenue to this onion concentrate maker. Now, also the benefit, so now these guys now purchase something locally. This is where mitigate risks come in. Before they were purchasing this local offcuts, they were actually purchasing these ingredients from offshore. So now by purchasing local, they've mitigated the risk of supply of transportation costs, transportation times. They've made their supply chain much more resilient, much more shorter. And then here's some numbers in the second paragraph here. Potential to generate $1.7 million per year. More meal equivalents go back to the food system, and a reduction of greenhouse gases each year as well. So that's just one spotlight about how when you bring circular economy or circularity into your business, these are the types of benefits that you can receive. Now, since I mentioned repurpose incubator here in COIL, I guess we should talk about COIL. COIL is the sister initiative to Our Food Future. It is operated out of Guelph-Wellington. It's called Circular Opportunity Innovation Launchpad. It's about accelerating circularity across businesses, organizations, supply chains, and material streams. It's been in existence for about 12 to 14 months. And in that time, we've already developed a comprehensive suite of programs, tools, and resources. This is an eye chart. I won't go through it in its entirety. I just wanted to show this, that this is the set of programs and tools and resources that we've developed in the last 12 to 14 months. We have business incubators, we have business accelerators. We have product incubators. Maddie works in the Zero Waste Economic Transformation Lab. We have a hub that strengthens the link between climate and circularity. We have a new program in partnership with Ivy Business School called Circular Leadership Program. If anybody's interested in applying, it doesn't start till early 2023. It's a system of 4 workshops, and it will help you with systems thinking. It will help you with identifying challenges and developing a real life circular solution to your customized challenge. We have a lot going on here, and this goes into my next slide. I mentioned that we are based, COIL is based in Guelph-Wellington. However, it is funded by the FedDev Ontario. So therefore, all the programs, tools, and resources are actually available from Windsor to Ottawa, Fort Erie, up to Huntsville, Peterborough, Kawarthas, and whatnot. So it doesn't matter where your business exists within Southern Ontario, we are here for you, and we can help you out. We can help embed and accelerate circularity through your business. And here, I'll pass it over to Maddie. She is the lead of our Zero Waste Economic Transformation Lab.
Thanks, Andrew. So yeah, as Andrew introduced the COIL programs, we have another program which is under the COIL umbrella called the Zero Waste Economic Transformation Lab, or ZWETL. And the whole aim of this lab is to sort of replicate what we've already done in circularity with respect to the food industry. As Andrew mentioned, there's been lots of great projects in the 12 months that we've already been working, and even longer with the Our Food Future campaign. So trying to mimic what we've done and change that into different industries. So we first started looking at construction, renovation, demolition materials through our initial funding supporter of the Cooperators, which is a local insurance company, operates Canada-wide, and they're interested in reducing the amount of materials that get sent to landfill from the construction industry. So our kind of method is to look at some research, trying to understand where the materials are coming from, where they're going within the Guelph-Wellington bubble. And then from there, we were looking to engage stakeholders, people who work in the industry. As Andrew mentioned, not just Guelph, but we could look further abroad in Ontario, and then potentially in the future, we have money to help businesses to involve circularity in their business model, specifically in the construction realm, and trying to reduce waste, keep materials out of landfill. So, we know that construction materials are very resource intensive: lumber, concrete, all of these things are typically mined or extracted. So definitely a high carbon industry that needs to be addressed with circularity as the solution to keep materials at a landfill and keep those resources within our ecosystem rather than throwing them away. So the plan is to mimic this again in the future, maybe looking at other sectors, textiles, electronics, plastics, where circularity could also be a great approach and what we need to do to move forward in our current climate crisis that we face. So we can go to the next slide. I have an example. So actually just recently, we were approached from an Ontario manufacturing company who makes doors. So, doors for your house as well as exterior doors. And recently, due to shortage of materials as well as the cost of disposal, most likely due to increased fuel costs that we are seeing, they decided to save a lot of their offcuts from their higher end line, and they could make a new line of doors using the offcuts. So, a cheaper line, but can save those materials, create new sales, have a more resilient supply chain, right? Because as we saw during COVID and during the increased fuel costs we see now, getting materials is very expensive. So this was a great example of how they're involving circularity, and they didn't even know what circular economy was. Like, we talked to them and they didn't really never heard that term before, but they were already doing it themselves. So it's great for us to say, well, you guys are already an example of the circular economy. You already are doing what you can to keep materials in use rather than just throwing them to landfill, because they do recognize that there's a significant business opportunity to keep those materials and to remanufacture them into a new product. So yeah, I think that's all from the Zweddle side, and I'll pass it back to Andrew to continue on.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Thank you, Maddie. And it is just such a wonderful example. The example that I shared was actually between two companies, where one company had waste, if you will, or a byproduct that was picked up from another company and used in their second business. Maddie's example here is actually within its own business. They were making one line of doors and they were throwing out the waste, and they saw what was going out the back door after their manufacturing run, what they were paying. And this is about the circular economy. It's about reducing costs and increasing revenues. They've now taken the material that was literally leaving their business and they were paying to dispose. They captured it and have made it into a second door line and for revenues. Like, that is the circular economy right there. And like Maddie mentioned, more resilient, reduce resource consumption, and they're optimizing the material. If you think back to my slide on the principles of circular economy, one was optimize. This is about material optimization. I'm just looking at the time. Angela, I will go quickly. Sorry.
No
Again,
worries.
just another slide on the hub. I wanted to call this out again because it was just launched this month. It is our effort or our branch or our arm of COIL, where we're really trying to solidify or strengthen that link between circular economy and climate action. That circular economy isn't just about decreasing waste. It is, but it's not just about that. That circular economy is very much needed and essential for us to address climate change and whatnot. Again, more on our website, coil.eco, and this is where our circular leadership program with Ivy resides, as well as Ivy and Innovation North are going to help us strengthen that link and that understanding. This slide is really on our COIL website, coil.eco. If you go to our website and under stories, I thought that in this presentation, we only have about 3 examples for you. However, if you go to our website into the stories section, we've already worked with about 60 plus companies in the first 12 to 14 months. And we've tried to share their stories in a very accessible, layperson's way on the website. So there'll be more spotlights there, and it's more practical examples for you to understand about circular economy and how to embed it into businesses, and how these businesses on the website took circularity or the circular economy and brought it into their business and how it benefited to them. So I just wanted, a shameless plug, coil.eco stories, great practical examples of circular business ideas and innovation as well. This is, I'll go quickly here. This doesn't exist yet, but we're having such a great time in Southern Ontario, and we're have such great momentum and great success that we want to actually build a coil network across Canada. In fact, we are talking to some potential partners right now, one in Nova Scotia, the other is actually in British Columbia. So knock on wood, I don't have any wood here, but pretty soon, sooner or later, coil could be coast to coast. And it's all about driving circularity across Canada, across Canada's economy, accelerating the transition so we're able to reduce our waste, reduce our resources, reduce our carbon footprint, and be the better for it. Oh, this is another spotlight. I really tried to bring in some examples. We brought in a food example. We brought in a Ontario door manufacturing example. This one comes from Fashion Takes Action. And Fashion Takes Action is a circular fashion organization led by Kelly Drennan, and she does wonderful work. And I just wanted to show how she's brought circular economy or circular thinking into the textile industry. Starting point was there's about 500,000 tons of textile waste in Canada each year. It was captured, but in the past it was usually downcycled, made into insulation, made into underpadding for carpets and whatnot. And the circular economy is all about not downcycling, but upcycling. Where can we increase the value? Where can we get more value from the waste and whatnot? So she has collaborated with retailers and sorting partners of Goodwill, industrial shredders, mill partners, textile experts to come up with a post-consumer textile end product. And what they're making is actually a laundry hamper. And it's a pilot going on right now in Canada. The hamper will be available in stores in Canadian Tire fall, winter of 2022. So very soon, if not now. But what they've been doing over the last 6-8 months has been collecting the post-consumer textile waste, and they've been upcycling it into a new value add end product that can be sold through Canadian Tire as well. So just a great example. And I put the source down, fashiontakesaction.com/circularity. I was just trying to show how circular economy can be embedded into different sectors and whatnot. This is my collaboration slide. Circular economy can't be done. It's much easier to be done when you have a lot of collaborators. Also, I wanted to mention on the slider, I wanted to show on this slide, because this is a business audience today, how many business organizations are taking notice of the circular economy. There's Business Center Guelph-Wellington. There's the Guelph Chamber of Commerce. There's the Ivy School of Business. There's the Lang School of Business at the University of Guelph. The circular economy is not just an environmental movement. It's not just a movement for civil society or civil organizations. It is a new economic model, and businesses are taking note. And this is what this slide was about. I wanted to show you a lot of our collaborators are very much in the business space. And And just, this is, probably, look at this, perfect time. This is for me. Maddie was online today. We have more of a Coral team, but I'm just going to share my one email for ease. Use me as a funnel. I could connect you up to Maddie. I could connect you to other members of the Coral team. But here's my name. Here's my email address. If you have further follow-up or questions after today's event. And then I think I just want to leave you, of course, a plug for our website, coil.eco. And then if whoever's on Twitter and you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at coil_CE. We would love to have you follow us. And we try to tweet out often and with value add ideas and whatnot. So I think it'd be worthwhile, hopefully. So ta-da, Angela, it's
Perfect.
quarter to one. Is that
You
good
did
time?
great. That's wonderful timing. So I don't have any questions currently. So anybody who's in the room, if you can stick around for a few seconds, then we can have a conversation a little bit more comfortably without having to worry about recordings and everything. For those of you who are watching live on Facebook or watching this after the fact on YouTube, if you do have questions, reach out to Andrew or reach out to me, success@guelphbusiness.com, and we can connect you through to the COIL team as well. So we're more than happy to connect everybody around. We're all part of the big same network. And the thing is if you don't have a network, you don't have circularity anyway. So thank you to Andrew. Thank you to Madeline.
Maddie, yeah.
Maddie, would you prefer Maddie? Yeah. It's the
Either
name
way.
on the bottom. I just read everybody's name right off their screen. So Maddie and Andrew, thank you very much for coming today. Do you have any last thoughts before I close off the Facebook and the recording and just have us in the room?
I have a thought, but I'll let Maddie go first if she has any.
No, I just wanted to say it's definitely applicable to all industries and all sectors, and I think Andrew kind of mentioned that in the presentation. So thank you everybody for joining.
My final thought, and I think it's pertinent to a business audience, is, and it comes from my years of experience in business sustainability. And when I was first trying to embed sustainability and years ago, 12 years ago, the challenge was, and back then it was always viewed as nice to have, not a need to have. And it was very much seen as a green movement. And, oh yeah, well, yeah, it's great, but what's the business case? What's the ROI? And this is why I love the circular economy. I will always be true to my sustainable roots, but this is why I love the circular economy. The circular economy is the business case. It's the ROI. Don't think of it as an environmental movement or an extension of sustainability. It's a new economic model. It's about productivity. It's about efficiency. It's about decreasing costs. It's about decreasing wastes. Oh, and by the way, it does have an environmental benefit. It will help us with our waste challenges. It will help us with our climate change challenges. It will help us with our the fact that we live on an earth with finite resources. Those are all great benefits, but at the first and foremost, the circular economy is an economic model that provides the business case to those who have been looking for it and want a reason why to engage and whatnot. And COIL, once you realize why to engage, COIL is here to help you with how to engage and whatnot. And I'll just put my email up for one last plug. There's my email. Reach out to me. I can connect you with Maddie or the COIL team, and we're more than happy to help out.
Perfect. So everybody who is watching, tomorrow's session is on supporting your circular transition, so programming and funding. Do register for that or join us here on Facebook. Thank you again, Andrew. Thank you again, Maddie. And thank you to those on Facebook and YouTube who are watching. Those who are in the room, please stick around for a few seconds. So have a great day.